Dividing fractions, easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. So b over 2, the reciprocal is just 2 over b. So if we're dividing a fraction, just take the second one and flip it upside down. So the first one stays the same. We change it to a times by flipping it upside down. So now we go 2a times 3 is 6a, and 5 times a squared is 5a squared. And so we simplify that. One of those a's cancel with those. Nothing goes into 6 and 5, so we can't do anything with that. So this one here, when you've got divided by 3y squared, pretend it's over 1. Okay, so then when you flip it upside down, it becomes 1 over 3r squared. Multiply them together, and you get 6r times 1 is 6r, 5 times 3 is 15r squared. One of the r's on the top cancels with one of the r's on the bottom, and so I end up with 2 over 5r. Adding in fractions. Now this is when you have to be quite careful. They're a bit harder, these ones, I think. Is that you have to make sure that you've got common denominator top and bottom. Okay, so with the same denominator, you just add them right across the top. So here we've got a common denominator, so it stays as 10, and we just add the top line, which is 3x plus 3x. 6x over 10 cancel out, so that becomes, we divide each of them by 2, so that becomes 3, that becomes 5, and so we're left with 3x over 5. This one's also okay because we've got 5 on the bottom, so 6a minus b over 5. Nothing you can do with that one because you can't simplify 6a minus b, so it has to be the same. Just have to leave it like that. So with common denominators, you multiply denominators to find a common term and cross multiply to find equivalent numerators. That might seem a bit gobbledygook at the moment. It's easier to see with a question. So first of all, multiply 2 times 3. And what you're going to do then is that you multiply the opposites, kind of the diagonals across sort of thing. So first of all you go a times 3, or 3 times a, and then on the second one you do the other diagonal one. So it becomes 2a times 2, or 2 times 2a. Okay, now we simplify those, so that becomes 3a on the top for this bit. Oops, sorry. For that bit. 2 times 2a is 4a for that bit. And on the bottom, again like the top, we've just got 2 times 3 is just 6 on the things. 3a plus 4a is 7a over 6. So this one here, a times b is ab. So you could go straight to ab because you know that's what it is. Then you could do your cross multiplication. So 3 times b is 3b. You've got a minus in the middle, and 2 times a is 2a. So they've done it the wrong way, so they've done through all that working, whatever way makes it work for you. So that's where I've got the same thing. I've done the cross multiplying thing, and I can't do anything with it, so I just leave it. So here's some harder examples. Again, probably for this one, I'll work through the thing. So 4x times 6x is 24x. Okay, then do your cross multiplication. So 6x times 3x plus 2. We'll just write it out like this first. Okay, and you've got a plus in the middle, and then you go the other cross multiplication. So it's 2 times 4x. And then I'll show you through the working there. They've just done it slightly different. So there's the 6x, 3x plus 2. There's the 4x times 2. Now they've put it together. Sorry, that's 24x squared, 4x times 6x. Okay, now what we do is look at this top line and say, right, is there anything I can do? 18x squared, well, 12x plus 8x is 20x. Always look for common factors to simplify your answer. So you could say, right, there's a whole lot of x's here, you can cross that x squared out with that x squared, but that doesn't work. Only you can simplify when you've got fractions, is if you've got things multiply together. So what you do is look for a common factor. So the common factor at the front is 2 and x. You've just done factorising, so you'll be able to do that. So if I take 2x away from 18x, I'm left with 9x. And if I take 2x away from 20x, I'm just left with plus 10. So does 2 go into 24? Yeah, it goes 12 times. So what happens here, that x cancels with that x there, so I'm left with 9x plus 10 over 24x. And that's where you get the 9x plus 10 over 12x. Oh, 12x. Sorry, the 2's are cancelled out, so it is 12x. Okay, the next one here, they've taken the same thing. So they've times it by x minus 1 times x plus 6. 5 times x plus 6 for that top line. Minus 2 times x minus 1 for that bit. Okay, tidy it up so that you're expanding it out, 5x plus 30 minus 2x plus 2. Now, this plus 2 comes because you've got minus 2 times minus 1. Okay, and when you've got minus 2 times minus 1, it becomes plus 2. So just be wary about that. They've for this one, they've expanded out the two brackets by just expanding. Tidy up the top line, 5x minus 2x is 3x, 30 plus 2 is 32, and then just leave the